Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We have been talking about a hadith which is reported by Jabir bin Abdullah radiyallahu anhu, that is reported by Imam al-Bayhaqi rahimahullah in Ad-Dalail al-Nubuwah. And this hadith, I told you about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam communicating with the trees and telling them to walk with the Prophet. And then we talked about Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam going past the two graves. Now we'll talk about the third miracle in that hadith. And Jabir radiallahu anhu says that when we return back to the army camp, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam ordered that everybody should make wudu. So I went around and started telling people that it is time for you to make wudu so that we can pray together. So everybody came to me and said, we have run out of water. Not a single drop of water remains. So I came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there is no water in the camp. How can they make wudu? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, go to so and so companion from the Ansar. And the reason Prophet ﷺ sent Jabir bin Abdullah towards this particular companion, because this companion from the Ansar always used to keep some water on the side for the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and used to chill the water, cool it down, because this particular travel was in very, very hot weather. And anytime Prophet would go in on expeditions and the temperature would be hot, this particular companion would make sure that the Prophet ﷺ gets cool water. Subhanallah, what a service, what a thought, right? So anyway, Jabir bin Abdullah approaches this particular companion and he says, well, I do not have any water left but maybe a few drops. So Jabir radiallahu anhu checked that bottle that he was carrying on him. Back in those days, the water bottles were made out of leather. So he came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, Ya Rasulullah, even that companion doesn't have water, but a drop or two, maybe. That's it. That's about it. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, okay, bring that water bottle to me. And then at the same time, Prophet ﷺ also asked me, do you have anything like a deep pan or a container? If you don't, then ask if anybody does. So Jabir says, I went around and I started asking people for a deep container or a deeper pan, and I was able to find it. And so I brought that to the Prophet ﷺ and also those few drops of water that were in that bottle. So Prophet ﷺ did something to his hands and then said something that I do not know what he said. And then the Prophet ﷺ ordered me to put that pan on the ground, and I did. And the Prophet ﷺ put his hand in the pan and ordered me that drop those few drops or maybe one or two drops that were remaining in that bottle on my hand, but say Bismillah before you drop it. So Jabir says that I opened the cap and I said Bismillah and I dropped it. It was only one drop of water that came on the Prophet ﷺ's hand. And the Prophet's hand was placed in the pan with all fingers spread out. And in no time, I noticed that the water is gushing out of the Prophet's fingers, his hands, and it was making a circle in the pan. And the water level started rising in the pan to a level where the water started flowing out of the pan. And Prophet ﷺ ordered Jabir, go and call everybody and ask them to come, fill their vessels, fill their containers, fill their water bottles, make wudu. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. The entire army's thirst was quenched. The entire army's need for the water was fulfilled. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Inshallah, we will bring more such stories to you from the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. If you are interested, please write it down in the comment section below. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.